Balls up as well.
I'd like to say actually thank you to Rob for inviting me, because now I'm not at the uni, I'm very bad at actually sitting down and writing. So his invite made me get my backside into action. So you said your work was a year old, this is about a week old. So I'm testing it out, and I'd like to, no, I'm not going to apologise, but I'm just going to say I hope you're not too shocked by a certain language. It's so new it hasn't got to. And maybe you can come up to the top for me, as they would do. I know you just said step forward to the microphone, you might regret that. Finally, the bus has broken free of the town centre. Now it works its way past row after row of small terrace houses, their old-fashioned neatness disrupted by chunks of UPVC, windows and oversized porches that were once new, once white. The shops, too, look faded, despite their overly bright signage. Fast food outlets, Eastern European supermarkets, vape stores, and bookies. A rainbow of saris shines from one window. Next to it, a law firm advertises that it specialises in work visas and citizenship tests. The bus slows as the brakes sigh into action, comes to a halt outside a newsagent come greengrocer come off licence. The doors hiss open. A tiny rectangle of a woman darts from the door. Perhaps, in another time and in another place, you might have said she is petite. Perhaps the word elfin would have sprung to mind. But this is a Wednesday, at 4:30 in the afternoon in the West Midlands. This is the number 79 from West Brom. And here, in this place and at this time, she is skinny. Her sharp, prominent cheekbones speak not of beauty treatments and avocado salads, but of one necessary meal a day, and perhaps other kinds of injectables. Despite the mild, dry day, she's wearing a lightly padded armour, zipped fully to the neck. As she makes her way towards the back of the bus, she pulls the head up and as far forward as it will go, recedes into it like a tortoise backing into its shell, and she becomes less visible. Scrambling on behind her come two dogs, one a deep amber colour, the other darkest black. Their coats look polished, the shine highlighting the bulk and the curve of the muscle beneath. The clatter of their claws is accompanied by the clank and scrape of heavy chain leads dragging behind them, a pair of canine Marley's ghosts. Their progress is slowed by their constant turning to look back at the man who follows. He is a short, solid block of a man, square-shouldered, stocky-legged, one leg made to look chunkier still by the can of lager tucked into the pocket of his faded combats. He wears them slung just low enough to reveal the waistband of the pants beneath. They claim an unlikely history, proudly declaring that once they belonged to Dolce and Gabbana. The man and the dog stop at the bottom of the stairs to the upper deck. Go on, he says to the dogs. Up you go. The dogs make no attempt to climb. Instead, they sit down and gaze up at him. They are enthralled. Angel, demon, go on, up the stairs. The man is frowning now, and the small tattoo of a crucifix that sits just above his left eyebrow twitches in response. He moves closer to the stairs himself, and immediately the dogs stand up and begin their ascent. The man follows, bending down, ignoring the trailing leads, and instead stretches his arms out as though shepherding the dogs or preparing to catch the animals should they fall, now the bus is moving again, swinging its way back into the traffic. The woman suddenly reappears in the aisle, and heads up after him, muttering as she goes. Downstairs, some of the passengers glance briefly at each other, sharing an unspoken relief at something unknown averted. For a few moments there's quiet. Then dark rumblings can be heard from the upper deck. They are from the man and the woman, not the dogs. An explosion of noise and a torrent of words comes tumbling down the stairs. The man and the dogs come with them. Leave us alone, will you? What you got to keep following us for? What's wrong with you? Then the woman's there. She's run after him, screaming, I am a fucking prostitute. I don't have sex with men for cash. I never said you was a prostitute. Well, I ain't one. I ain't. You got no right to say I am. Who the fuck do you think you are? I ain't one. I ain't a prostitute. I never said you was. And watch what you're saying. There's a time and a place, and this ain't it. I'll get to choose what I say, and this is the bloody time and place. I choose, right? Jesus, you mad mare, what's wrong with you? There's bloody kids on this fucking bus, will you watch what you're saying? I don't care, they ain't my kids. You are. Look, I never said you was a prostitute. Never called you that. It's you that's saying that I did. Well, I ain't one. I ain't a bloody prosit. Whatever texts are being sent or YouTube clips watched by the other passengers, whatever the midweek rush hour traffic is doing, it is obviously all much more interesting than what is happening on the bus, because everyone looks anywhere else but at the man and the woman. He sighs, sits down on the first seat available to him, extends his left leg with its attached can of lager into the aisle. The young woman sitting on the seat nearest to his manages to peer even more intently at her phone. Her shoulders and neck curve as she draws herself inwards. Her fingers and thumbs move across the phone screen at a speed that suggests the message about to be sent must be a matter of life or death. The dogs, who all remain standing at the bottom of the stairs, filling the aisle, move towards the man. They muscle their way behind his leg, duck under the seat, then reappear and climb up beside him. There is some pushing and shoving between them as they compete for the best spot. The black one, Angel, is pushed towards the window. She settles, mimics the passengers looking outside, seemingly finding a view of stop-start traffic as fascinating as they do. The other dog, Demon, is sat as close to the man as he can. He puts his right arm around the animal, pulling it to him even closer. The dog does a little bottom shuffle, then rests its chin on the curve between the man's shoulder and neck. What's up? The man says softly. There's nothing to be worried about. You're only on the bus and you're safe with me, who knows that? He has turned slightly so he can look down at the dog as he speaks. You mustn't be gal, Angel, he says, and gives her a gentle squeeze. The dog makes a strange little sound, something caught between a snuffle and a sigh. The woman is still standing a few steps away from them, watching, shifting her weight from one foot to another. She plucks at the pockets of her anorak. I owe one, she says, picking up what she left off. There's no response from the man. She stops fiddling with her pockets and pulls herself up to the maximum of what little height she has. And it ain't me what's saying it. It's you. It's you what says I'm a posse. Well, I ain't. I don't have sex for cash. I do. You know I do. And yeah, mates, them I'm saying it and all, well, they can do what the fuckers they am. All of them. Wouldn't touch none of them. And sort your pal Jono out and all. Fucking dickhead bastard nicked me last fag. She has backed up every statement with a jab of her finger, but is lost on her target. He never looks at her once. The woman heads off to the back of the bus. The man simply sits, looking straight ahead. His left hand reaches down to touch the can of lager in his trouser pocket. One finger taps the top, the rhythm only broken by the occasional flick of the limb pull. With his right hand, he caresses Demon's ear, gently pulling on it, flipping it back and forth, then pulling on it again. The dog's muzzle is lifted to the air. Her eyes are squeezed tightly shut. Occasionally, she lets out that little fluttering sigh again. Demon is in heaven. The man calls out to the driver, "Excuse us, mate, how long before we get into Wolves?" A muffled response filters down from the front of the bus. "About and 5 are the only words that can be distinguished." "Soz, mate, did you say 5 minutes?" The response is louder this time, enough to hear the words 45 minutes and traffic. "Bloody hell," the man says. He looks around at the other passengers and announces, "Might get off at Bilston then." If he's expecting a response, he's disappointed. The woman reappears beside him. "You know I ain't crossing. You does, don't you? I know you don't, Steve. Really, I does. You wouldn't. I knows you wouldn't." She puts her hand on his left shoulder, and her thin fingers with their bitten down nails pick and pull at his t-shirt. Demon watches. "What?" the man says. "Will you get us a packet of fags on the way home?" "We ain't got the money for fags." "Why not?" "'Cause we've 2.25 in the bank, that's why not. That ain't fag money. I had enough jobs on, and there's not coming up neither. You want fags, you need to think how we can get a bit of cash in. Quick, like." "I don't know. What you asking me for? What can I do?" "I bet there's something. Something you could do easy. I mean, I've always looked after you, haven't I? So, you could maybe help out a bit. Just this once. Or maybe twice. Wouldn't be forever. I'm just saying, if you could do me something, tide us over like. Now would be the time." Angel turns away from the window. Demon opens her eyes. Both look at the woman. Her hand is no longer on his shoulder. She leans down, puts her mouth close to his ear. "Fuck off, you bastard." The bus pulls over, doors open, and the woman seizes her chance. "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you," she screams as she gets off. She could be cursing the man, the driver, the other passengers, or the whole world. The man leaps up from his seat and jumps after. The woman is almost running, but she keeps stopping to turn back and shout at the man. Each time the gap between them lessens, and soon he is only an arm's length away.